since we lost on playoffs and on the last split, we weren't finding like a good spot, like a flow state with the IGL that was close in that moment. And then we came back to the split two, um, and the problem persisted. Like,
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America Stage 2. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied once again by Adam, the head coach of Crew Esports, who are coming off of a 2-1 series loss to NRG Esports at the end of their Super Week. And so, Adam, really appreciate you taking the time once again for another interview. Unfortunately, it's coming off of a loss to NRG, and talking about that first and foremost, I just want to ask, what is your emotions like right now after that match?
maybe it's not about emotions; it's more about thoughts that what we can do to fix this and be in a better shape for the next match.
Just then getting into those kind of thoughts, what were you thinking about, just the team's overall form, biggest issues, and just your overall view of the series overall?
I think that we are really playing really poorly, like negligent. Like we are not taking care or not thinking or not taking into account the things that we are supposed to do in game. So I think they are like being really expensive for us in terms of rounds, and also when you play against a team like Energy, you can't you can't be you can't play without discipline. You can't play with that like that details in game, mm, and it was normal or logical that we lose against them.
Of course, your team started off this series winning in split, and then from then on, it was NRG's way, winning in Ascent and Sunset. I mean, what do you think went wrong for your squad from map 2 onwards all the way to the very end?
On the split, it was at the beginning a little hard to find pace, but then we did. Even if we had some rounds played a way that they are not supposed to be played, we were able to win the map. But then on Ascent, I think that we start losing like 2 or 3 rounds for dumb things, for things that we are not supposed to fail. We start making mistakes that I thought they were fixing, and then we felt like snowballed. Like we weren't able to gain pace and rhythm again. So and then we went to Sunset. It was really a really slow start, but then it wasn't enough time to turn it back.
You mentioned a little bit on just the word negligent and just kind of how that kind of affected the team. Exactly what do you think caused your team to kind of be in that state? Not being able to pay attention to more details as before.
What is the question? I
Yeah.
understand
What
what
do you
you say
think
without
is
the
the
question.
yeah? What do you think is the biggest reason behind the team being negligent, as you said, earlier on in the conversation?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because since we lost on playoffs and on the last split, we weren't finding like a good spot, like a flow state with the IGL that was close in that moment. And then we came back to the split two, um, and the problem persisted. Like it was really hard to find like the way we were supposed to work with that dynamic. But along with that, we started having those issues that in the first five matches on split one, I believe that we were strong because we were like investing our energy, our thoughts, our comms, our everything into those details that make us like play strong. And I don't know, between both things, between trying to fix the IGL situation and trying to stop playing negligent, I think that we dedicated more time to the IGL thing, and not enough energy, not enough resources into that way of playing, uh, the detailed way of playing that we used to have, and now it's been hard. Like last game against Sentinels, we didn't had any uh, clean gameplay, and now we had but only one on one map, and we need to be able to play like that on any map if we want to win. So it's hard to tell exactly what it is, but I think it goes with where we place our energy, where we place our thoughts, our, like when frustrations comes in, it's hard to take that away and still keep focused on what you're supposed to be focused.
And about the recent changes that the team made now, before the start of or before this match against NRG, or I think yeah, something around that time. The decision was made to put Melser back into the IGL role, replace Klaus to MT with Motita. Just sort of talking a little bit about that, amidst the issues that you saw as a coach from stage one to now. I mean, I would say from my point of view, it's a risk for you guys to make a change at this point in the season, um, just to have a better form, better team. But you did that, and so I understand that. That said, what did you kind of see in the team that made you see that made you make this decision to make Melser return back to the IGO role and just have Motita get into the line? I mean, what was your thought process behind these decisions?
In some way, I feel as we were forced to make the change because, as I told you, things were working in a way in the past, in the first split, but suddenly in in a matter of 1 2 weeks, that way of working, especially with calls, changed drastically, and we were already getting prepared for this split. So we tried to fix it. We tried to bring back the team and close to the way we were supposed to work, and it worked on prax. We were doing it better, good. But then again, Sentinels, that is where it really matters. We went back to that wrong way of dynamic. Uh, so it was a hard call for us. We are the first ones to know that it's a bad timing, a bad moment to do it. But it was it. If we were already losing, mm, I prefer to lose like trying different things and trying to do things like placing Motita to play that I see potential in, rather than just do nothing and just keep losing on something that potentially is going to just keep losing. So it was a really hard call, but we felt forced to do it. Like if we don't do it now, like it's pretty clear our future. And well, today I don't feel that we have IGL issues. Also, Melser is not a strict IGL. Like if we need to pull someone IGL, is Melser, but he is not doing the work as a normal IGL is supposed to do, because we don't have that personality. We don't have that the way our team is structured. There is no one that fulfill that role now. So he's doing more a job like making sure that the team follows one idea. Sometimes always the idea comes from someone different, or just strictly following our game plan. That is easy. But yeah, it was a rather hard call. Um, Melser is trying to help with that, but he's not the full IGL, and I don't know. Now we are just fixing that IGL situation. But our biggest issue is that negligence that we have to play.
In that case, how does the IGO slash comms work within the team? You know, if Melser's not doing the majority of the communication, then how does that work?
Mm, Also in the past, we never was a team where the IGL like strictly moved the team like the IGL strictly said do this, go here, go that. We never did that. Um, Klaus was in the past, and Melser when he was IGL in the past had more voice. Like they spoke more. Like they frequently said, "Okay, we're going to do this," but we never had a dynamic where every single round the IGL said what we have to do. So we have a team that everybody involves. Like everybody says, like, "Hey, we should do this setup. We should do this. Oh, when we're practicing, we did this against this comp and it worked." So everybody participates, and the IGL, uh, his job was to speak more when nobody had ideas. So now, how it's working is that we all the team tries to fill those gaps, to not let the team to play with no idea, and basically that's it. Like we don't we have never played like following a strict game plan, a strict strat book. We have our game plan. We have some strats, but we try to also flow with the game. Like if we don't know what to do, we follow the game plan. If we don't have a different idea, we just go to the strat book, to the playbook, and in that way we are still working. Like I feel as there is no big difference when we had IGO and now. But as I told you, our main problem right now is being negligent at the time to play.
One more question that I want to ask before I wrap it up. You mentioned a little bit of just differences with Klaus. I mean, if you can go a little bit more into detail as to like what do you mean by those differences? Is it just like strategy differences? You know, differences in just ideas on how the team should play?
I mean, we have two ways of playing. Like the first way is following the strat book, following the playbook, following the strats that we practice on a daily basis. We practice on server, we practice on scrims, like straight strats. And the other way of playing is more like an adapted way of playing, like understanding the rival or deciding what are they doing, and that's also something that we practice on a daily basis. And the IGL, we always try to pull the team to the playbook, to the track book, and the team will also rely on the playbook, but the team has also space to follow reads and follow adaptations. So as I told you, we never had an IGL, neither last year or this year. We never play with a full IGL that calls every round and have strict reads and dictate the round like step by step. We never had that, and I feel that's the difference. That now every single member of the team is involved in okay, saying okay, we can do this play from the strat book, we can follow this strat, this setup, and also involved in like sharing reads, and all of that information goes through Melser, and he just say okay, let's do this one, let's do that one. Oh, this is the idea. It's the best one. Let's follow this. That's the difference now.
Okay, I understand that. I really do appreciate you giving me the insight on all your answers for this interview, and for that, I really thank you. That's it. I'm going to wrap up the interview right here. Thank you so much for taking the time, Adam, once again for another interview. Sorry for taking a little bit of too much of your time, but still, really thank you for doing this. That's it. Best of luck in your next match.
Thank you.